You know that feeling, right? You're just chilling on the couch, maybe watching something, and then suddenly, whoa, this cloud appears out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And you look over at your furry best mate and they're giving you that completely innocent look. Maybe even like sound asleep. Yep, we've all been there. It's the silent, well, okay, often not so silent, reality of sharing your life with a dog, the dreaded dog fart. And okay, yeah, it might make your eyes water, send you scrambling for the window, but it's also surprisingly a pretty complex thing. It can tell you a lot about your dog's health. So for this deep dive, we're tackling that pungent mystery head on. Dog flatulence. We're going to look at why it happens, what it really means for your pup, and crucially, what you can actually do about it. Our goal today, turn that smelly confusion into, clarity, give you some real practical tips, maybe a few aha moments about how your dog's insides work. All right, so let's start right at the beginning. Beyond the, let's call it the aroma, what actually is flatulence in dogs? Like, biologically.
It's actually pretty simple. It's just the body's normal way of letting go of gases that build up in the digestive system.
Yeah.
Think of it like a natural pressure release valve, the main source. It's the good bacteria living in your dog's gut. These guys are essential. They break down nutrients your dog needs. But, well, gas is just a natural byproduct of them doing their job. Totally normal. For dogs, for us, for pretty much anything with a gut.
Okay, so some gas is fine, expected even.
Exactly. But here's the thing. There isn't really one normal amount. It really varies from dog to dog. Every dog's different. What's typical for your neighbor's Labrador might be way off for your Chihuahua. It's all about knowing your dog's baseline. That's key.
That makes sense. Know your dog's normal. So when does it cross the line? When should you, as the owner, start thinking, okay, maybe this isn't just normal dog stuff anymore. Like, when does it become excessive or, exceptionally foul? What causes that extra potency?
Right, that's the million-dollar question. When you see a big jump in how often it's happening or if the smell dramatically changes, that's your cue to dig a little deeper. And one of the biggest reasons, surprisingly, isn't always the food itself. It's often just swallowed air. We call it aerophagia.
Swallowed air. How does that work?
Think about a dog that just inhales their food, right?
Yeah.
Gone in 10 seconds flat.
Oh, yeah, I know the type.
Well, when they eat that fast, they're gulping down loads of air along with the kibble. If they don't burp that air back up...
It has to go somewhere else.
Exactly. It travels down the digestive tract and finds the other exit. It's super common. And it's not just speed eating. Certain breeds, the ones with the cute pushed-in faces.
Like pugs, Frenchies.
Precisely. Brachycephalic breeds. Pugs, Boston Terriers, Shih Tzus, Lhasa Apsos. Their anatomy just makes them swallow more air all day long, not just at mealtimes. They're kind of naturally predisposed to being a bit gassier. Even heavy panting, like after a good run or a really intense play session, can make them swallow extra air.
Wow. Okay, so for my friend with the constantly gassy pug, it might just be how he's built, not necessarily something wrong.
It could very well be a big part of it, yes.
Yeah.
So you've got how they eat, how they breathe, how they play, all contributing to air intake. But then, of course, there's the food itself.
Right. The fuel, that's got to play a huge role, especially in the fragrance, shall we say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A massive role. Beyond just the air swallowing, what's actually in their food bowl is probably the biggest driver of both the volume and particularly the smell. Lower quality dog foods, ones with lots of fillers or artificial preservatives, they can be really tough for a dog's system to break down efficiently.
Okay, so quality matters. What about specific ingredients? Are there known offenders?
Definitely. Peas, beans, soybeans, those are pretty well-known gas producers. But one that catches people out is dairy.
Dairy, like cheese. My dog loves cheese.
I know, they often do. But the thing is, most adult dogs are actually lactose intolerant. Their bodies don't have enough of the enzyme needed to break down lactose, the sugar in milk. So that little cube of cheese or milk in their bowl or even cream, it can cause significant tummy upset and, yes, a lot of gas.
Oof. Okay, noted. Less cheese. What about, like, human food in general? Table scraps.
Yeah, that's another big one. Table scraps, especially fatty foods, sugary things, spicy stuff. Dogs just aren't equipped to digest that easily. It can really throw their system out of whack. Their digestive tracts are designed for, dog food, not pizza crusts or cake.
Makes sense.
And then you have the classic scenarios of the dog getting into the trash bin or maybe eating something questionable they found on a walk. Spoiled food. That's a recipe for digestive disaster, including some serious gas.
Okay, so no junk food, keep the bin secure. Got it. But what if you're trying to be healthy? I give my dog bits of veg sometimes. Can that cause problems too?
It can, surprisingly. Even healthy stuff like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. While they're safe and have nutrients, they also contain certain types of fiber that ferment in the gut.
Ah, fermentation equals gas.
You got it. So in moderation, they're fine, maybe even good, but too much can definitely increase gas production. And speaking of smell, diets really high in meat can lead to particularly pungent farts because of the sulfur compounds in meat protein.
Sulfur, right. Rotten egg smell. Charming.
Exactly. And similarly, high fiber foods, while on board for digestion, take longer to break down. More time for bacteria to work, more fermentation often means stronger smelling gas.
This is incredibly useful. So the super stink could be the meat, could be the broccoli, could be that sneaky bit of cheese, lots of potential culprits. But sometimes you just get that feeling it's more than just diet, like something's really off. How do you know when it's time to stop blaming the broccoli and actually call the vet?
That's a critical point. Because while some gas is normal, a big change, either way more gas or way smellier gas, can absolutely be a sign that there's an underlying health issue that needs a professional look. Your dog's gas can be a window into their internal health.
Okay, so what are the big red flags then, beyond just more farts?
Definitely call your vet if the farting has significantly increased or if the smell is suddenly way worse or just drastically different. But the really crucial signs are when the gas comes with other symptoms. Look out for things like diarrhea, especially if there's any blood in it. Vomiting is another big one. Also, changes in appetite, either eating way less or stopping altogether. Unexplained weight loss. If your dog just seems really sluggish or tired, that's lethargy, another warning sign. And pay attention to their belly. Is it tender if you touch it? Can you hear lots of loud gurgling sounds? We call that borborygmus. That can signal pain or bloating.
Gotcha. So it's the whole picture. The gas plus other stuff like diarrhea, vomiting, appetite changes. That's the real signal to get checked out.
Exactly. It's about the company the gas keeps, so to speak.
What kind of underlying problems could those symptoms point towards?
Well, when you see excessive gas combined with those other GI signs, it can indicate a range of things. We might be looking at inflammatory conditions in the intestines like canine colitis or maybe IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. It could also be parasites, worms, or some kind of bacterial infection or overgrowth in the gut. Issues with the pancreas are another possibility, like pancreatitis, which is inflammation, or something called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, where it doesn't produce enough digestive enzymes. Food allergies or more serious intolerances can also cause these signs. And though it's much rarer, sometimes these symptoms combined could even point towards certain cancers.
Oh.
And don't forget simpler things. Just being overweight or not getting enough exercise can also contribute to chronic gas issues. So the possibilities are broad, which is why seeing the vet is so important if you have concerns.
That really drives home how important it is to pay attention. It's not just gas. Okay, so let's say the vet gives the all clear. No serious underlying condition. Phew. For those of us dealing with a generally healthy but, shall we say, aromatic dog, what can we actually do to maybe turn down the toot volume a bit?
Right. The good news, there are definitely practical things you can try at home. And honestly, the #1 place to start, it's usually the diet. Making some adjustments there often yields the biggest results.
Okay, where do we begin with diet?
The simplest first step is what I call a simplification trial. For at least 2 weeks, cut out everything except their main regular dog food. No treats, no table scraps, no dental chews, nothing extra, just the kibble and water. If the gas significantly improves during that time, bingo. You know one of those extras was likely the culprit.
Like an elimination diet, basically.
Exactly. Then you can slowly reintroduce things one by one, wait a few days between each, and see if the gas comes back. It helps you pinpoint the specific trigger.
That's a great practical tip. If you do just one thing, try that first.
Okay, what about the main food itself? If the simplification doesn't totally solve it?
Then you look at the core diet. Consider switching to a food specifically formulated for sensitive stomachs, or one that's labeled as highly digestible or low residue. These are designed to be easier on the gut. You'll want to actively avoid foods that are super high in protein or really high in fiber, and definitely check ingredient lists for those common offenders we talked about: peas, beans, soy, dairy. Also, watch out for things called fermentable fibers. Ingredients like chicory, inulin, pectins, psyllium, plant gums, oats, barley, beet pulp, even some fruits or legumes. They can be tough for some dogs.
So reading the label carefully is key. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look for high-quality foods where a specific animal protein source like chicken or lamb is listed first or second. And minimal weird chemical preservatives is usually a good sign too. And please remember, if you do change food, Do it gradually. Mix the new food with the old, increasing the proportion of the new stuff over, say, 7 to 14 days. A sudden switch is almost guaranteed to cause upset and more gas.
Right. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, diet covered. What else? You mentioned how they eat earlier.
Yes. Managing how they eat is just as important as what they eat if you've got one of those speed eaters.
Hoovers.
Exactly. Try using a food puzzle toy or one of those special slow feeder bowls with the ridges and bumps. They physically slow the dog down, forcing them to take smaller bites and swallow less air. It can make a huge difference. Another strategy is splitting their daily food amount into several smaller meals throughout the day rather than one or two big ones, easier to digest. And think about the environment. Feed them somewhere quiet, calm, where they don't feel rushed or like they have to compete with other pets, and try not to feed them right after they've been running around like crazy and are still panting heavily.
Makes sense. Calm meal times. What about exercise? Does that help?
It really does. Getting enough exercise helps keep the whole digestive system moving regularly. As one vet put it, exercise helps gas work its way out more gradually instead of building up into a big release.
So more walks, more fetch.
Yep. More walks, more playtime, maybe some off-leash time if it's safe. It helps move things along. And remember, dogs that are overweight or don't move much are definitely at higher risk for chronic gas. So getting them active is good for multiple reasons.
Okay, diet, eating habits, exercise. Are there any supplements that might help, like probiotics?
Supplements can be helpful, yes, but, and this is really important, always talk to your vet before adding anything new. Don't just grab something off the shelf. Probiotics are a popular one. They contain beneficial bacteria that help support a healthy gut environment and improve digestion overall. They can be particularly useful maybe after a course of antibiotics, which can disrupt gut flora, or even during stressful periods because stress can impact digestion too.
Just make sure they're dog-specific probiotics, right? Not human ones.
Absolutely crucial. Dog-specific formulas, what helps our gut isn't always right for theirs.
Okay. Any other supplements specifically for gas or the smell?
Well, some herbal remedies might help. Fennel, for instance, is thought to help relax the muscles in the GI tract, allowing gas to pass more easily and potentially reducing bloating. Ginger is well known for settling upset stomachs, and it's also anti-inflammatory, which could soothe an irritated gut. For tackling the smell specifically rather than the amount of gas, there are ingredients like Yucca shitagera, zinc acetate, or activated charcoal. These are sometimes included in supplements or treats designed to reduce odor. And of course, in certain situations, your vet might recommend actual medications, like simethicone, which breaks up gas bubbles, or maybe antacids. But again, that's a vet decision.
Right. Vet consultation is key for supplements and meds. What about just preventing opportunities for trouble?
Environmental control, yes. Make sure your garbage cans are secure indoors and out, like really secure. Dogs can be determined. And working on a really solid leave it command for walks is invaluable. You can stop them from gobbling down that half-eaten sandwich or whatever disgusting treasure they find before you even notice. Preventing those dietary indiscretions saves a lot of trouble.
That's great advice. Lock down the bins, teach, leave it. Simple but effective. Wow, okay. We've really covered a lot of ground here, from the basic science of a dog fart to all the reasons it might get excessive and a whole bunch of practical things you can try at home. It really boils down to paying attention to your dog, understanding their signals, and making informed choices about their diet and lifestyle.
Absolutely. And maybe it leaves you with a question to ponder. What's one small change you could try this week? Maybe simplifying the diet, maybe using a slow feeder, maybe adding an extra walk. Just pick one thing and observe. See if it makes a difference to your dog's digestive comfort.
That's a great takeaway. One small change. And of course, we have to end with our crucial reminder. While we've shared a ton of information today, and hopefully it's been helpful and educational, this deep dive is absolutely not a substitute for professional veterinary advice. Seriously, if you have any concerns about your dog's health, whether it's excessive gas, those other symptoms we discussed, or anything else, please make an appointment with your certified veterinarian. They know your dog, they can run tests if needed, and they are the only ones qualified to give you tailored medical guidance for your furry family member. Your vet is your partner in keeping your dog healthy and happy.